Welcome back to Tabletop Thoughts. Today we are going to see how I convert little garden statues from the dollar store into some scatter terrain for a graveyard. So here is one of the statues that I got from the Dollar General. I got 6 total. They were on clearance for 15 cents, and I am going to fill in the words that's on the front of them using 3D resin. All I need to do is apply some of the resin into the letters from the words on the front of it. I'll use a Q-tip to apply the resin to the words, and then I will use a UV flashlight to harden the resin pretty much instantly. Then I should be able to work with it. Here you can see me using the Q-tip to apply the 3D resin into all the lettering on the front. Now that I have the fronts completely covered, I use the UV flashlight to harden the resin. It doesn't take very long. I normally hold it here for like 30 seconds or so. Make sure to get all of it. The blue light from the flashlight allows you to know what you're pointing at. So once you get all over it, you should be good for the next step. At this point, I will take a fine grit sandpaper and I will go over to get rid of any bumps or kind of grooves or anything that I see left over in the resin. Since it is gray, it's easy to see where the resin is and where the statue is. Now that both statues have resin and it's been sanded, we will apply some of this surface primer to both of the statues, covering the entire thing. That way we will have a nice black undercoat for the next step where we start to paint. Now that the statues have been primed and completely dry, we are going to use this gray acrylic paint to dry brush on, and that will be our undercoat. You want to make sure that you get this gray paint on all of the raised surfaces, and so if it might take you a couple of times, I'll go around over every area, and then I'll take a quick look, make sure I hit everything, maybe go back over it, just trying to get all the details to pop out of it. Now that both models have been dry brush gray and completely dry, we will go back in with this white acrylic paint and do an even lighter dry brush, just touching on the highest points on both of these statues to bring them out and make the detail pop. I also try to keep most of my brush strokes to be up and down on the model. That way it simulates more of a light source being above the statue. Once those are dry, I glue these statues to 2-inch wooden circles. And now I will apply some PVA glue that I am going to add water to in about half and half ratio. And then I will use that to paint onto the wooden part along the bottom. This will give me something sticky so I can add some flocking to the base. We will start with some small stones, and then we will move up to grass. Here I'm going to add the cat litter to the base. It's just a pinchful for each one of them, just a few stones around each statue. I don't want to make it look totally like rocky terrain, but a few of these small little pebbles will be in front of the statues, and then we will move on to a flock. I like using this Army Painter flock because it is a mixed colors, I would say. If you look at it, there'll be some lighter greens and some darker greens, so it's not a static single color. It looks a little more realistic. That's why I don't mind paying a little bit extra for it. Once this dries, I normally will come back in and reapply. I'll put a little bit more glue down and reapply over any of the bald spots that might be poking through, that you can see the wooden circle underneath. Now that the models are completely dry and the flock is all dry, I am going to come in with my homemade black wash, and I will put it over the parts of the statue where I want to tone it down, but to make the shadows really pop. So I will do it around like the face and the head, maybe the arms, the wings, just trying to bring a little extra shadow to those parts to make it look extra depressing, because this is going into a graveyard. And here are the finished statues. As you can see, they turned out pretty good. I wouldn't mind putting these on the tabletop for any kind of graveyard scene. You can see that they do look kind of depressing, but should fit right in. So that is how I take a garden statue from a dollar store and convert that to be used on the tabletop. If you would like additional content, please head over to my website, tabletop-thoughts.com. Thanks for watching, and remember, keep on gaming.